Although it has several attractive advantages, the iPhone 16e has some important points to note. This is due to its lower price and its position as an economical iPhone. Here are some of the shortcomings of the iPhone 16e. 1. The screen returns to using a notch with a thick bezel still at 60 fps. One drawback that may be a consideration is the screen. This sector is quite capable with a Super Retina XDR OLED panel. This type of panel is the same as that used by other models in the series. The sharpness and color are quite capable and comfortable for everyday use. However, there are still a few points to note for this sector. For example, the refresh rate has not improved at all, as it is still stuck at 60 Hz. This certainly makes some people feel uncomfortable. Moreover, this figure has already been left far behind by Android phones. Only very cheap phones still use a 60 Hz refresh rate. For higher-priced models, the refresh rate is smoother with at least 90 Hz or 120 Hz. Additionally, another aspect to consider regarding the iPhone 16e's display is its design, which appears to be a downgrade. You may feel as though you are using an older generation iPhone, such as the iPhone 13 or iPhone 14. The notch design still utilizes a notch at the top, meaning it lacks the dynamic island feature. Furthermore, the bezels around the screen also feel thicker. When compared to the iPhone 16, the difference is quite noticeable. However, Apple has made it look symmetrical, unlike Android phones, which have thicker chin bezels compared to the other sides. Charging speed is still slow and without magsafe support. In terms of battery life, the iPhone 16 SE has scored very well, even better than other models in its series. Unfortunately, this positive aspect is not matched by its charging features. The charging time is far from fast, taking more than an hour. According to GSM Arena, the iPhone 16 SE takes around 1 hour and 50 minutes to fully charge. This is almost 2 hours, which is the typical charging time for entry-level Android phones. This capability is not much different from the iPhone 16, which takes around 1 hour and 42 minutes to fully charge. Additionally, the iPhone 16 SE only comes with first-generation Qi wireless charging at 7.5 watt. This means the phone does not support magsafe charging, which Marques Brownlee also lamented in his video. According to him, the iPhone SE 2022 does not support the magsafe feature, but that was 3 years ago. Meanwhile, MagSafe has been one of the features offered by the iPhone at least since the iPhone 12 series. Its speed, which only relies on Qi 7.5 watt, is considered very slow. Without the magnetic feature inside the iPhone 16 SE body, you can only use a wireless charger in a flat position, or you have to buy a case with a magnetic system so you can use a wireless charger attached to the back of the body. Another important note is that the iPhone 16 SE does not include a charger in its packaging. This is something you should keep in mind, as you will need to allocate a separate budget to purchase a charger if you don't already have one. 3. No ultra-wide camera, relying solely on the main camera. Another drawback of the iPhone 16e is its minimal camera configuration. You will only find one camera on the back of the body, which serves as the main camera with a wide sensor. Its quality is quite reliable, not much different from other models in the series. However, the iPhone 16e can only rely on the capabilities of its main camera. There is no ultra-wide camera as a secondary camera, let alone a telephoto lens. Interestingly, the presence of an ultra-wide camera on an iPhone doesn't seem like a difficult feature to implement. Indeed, the iPhone SE 2022 also only has one camera, but that was 3 years ago. The iPhone 16e is a modern iPhone that should not find it difficult to include an ultra-wide camera as a complement. Looking at the price of the iPhone 16e, this phone is sold for around $660. This price makes it the cheapest model in the iPhone 16 series. For around $180 more, you can get a phone with capabilities that are not much different from the regular iPhone 16. One of the capabilities you will find in other models is superior performance. The iPhone 16e uses the Apple A18 chipset, which is also used in other models in the series. Apple's best chipset, as of this writing, offers a high level of efficiency and powerful performance. This phone can even run AAA games smoothly. Additionally, the iPhone 16e also has build quality that is just as good. Its main camera capabilities are on par with other models in the series, with reliable video recording and a dependable front camera. You can use this phone for a considerable amount of time, thanks to its decent battery life. However, with the price difference, you also have to accept some compromises on the iPhone 16e. For example, there's no ultra-wide camera, the screen design reverts to the past with a notch without dynamic island, and it doesn't support magsafe charging. So, what do you think? Is it still worth it?